Mumble rap. Anyone who grew up in the Jay-Z era and all that, they fucking hate mumble rap.
Zesty.
Chunky! The last one, which is so relevant in music and culture and anything to do with what you're after. The status quo bias. This is kind of tied in a bit to the bandwagon, the confirmation bias. Like, it's kind of tied into all of them.
Mm-hmm.
The status quo is more like, you know, you follow what is the status quo. If we get a little bit concerned about going outside.
Can you explain the status quo?
So status quo is just like what's accepted, what's appreciated in a way. Like, so with hip hop, the status quo is the era of the mighties like Jay-Z, Biggie, Tupac.
Okay.
Like, that's the status quo, because we're like, no, that's what rap is about. It's about coming from hard times. It's about coming from, repressed environments. It is on the streets. Like, that is the status quo and the ideology of rap. Now you've got female rappers coming up. This isn't against female rappers, but this is, again, female rappers are against the status quo, because it's like, what the fuck do they know about it? I mean, yes, you got the one-offs like...
they were in the same environment.
Exactly.
So.
But they're not women aren't as physically violent as guys. And that's what comes into, typically.
Okay.
But that's what comes in, but that's what comes into, and like, you can say like, no, it's not what rap's about. Like, there is that element of war behind rap.
Yeah.
And I love it for that. Like, there's nothing against it.
Some rap,
Yeah. And like that, but that is the status quo bias of that that culture. Same as like the way, like, you got the status quo on how you write songs, what you use, the way in which it rhymes, like, mumble rap. Anyone who grew up in the Jay-Z era and all that, they fucking hate mumble rap.
Yeah.
So like, what the?
But
you could then
say for some people, mumble rap is a status quo for the hip hop that they listen to.
That's the thing. So there's a status quo within status quos.
You're a status quo.
It's gonna fuck up. But so that's the thing. So it's about being aware of ourselves being stuck in that, and that's what I mean. Like, they're tied in with confirmation bias and all that. One example which we use all the time in this podcast is Lil Nas X. He broke out of the status quo of the type of music, mixing fucking hip hop and country. He broke the status quo of how to market a song, TikTok, and he's openly gay, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, like that's a lot of status quos that he's broken through in a hip hop genre. So by him, if he's stuck in the status quo of, nah, man, I need to hustle on the streets, I need to, find a label, I need to do this, and like this, I don't market on TikTok, I market from fucking standing in front of cars and shit. That is, he never would have been the success he is. So where we can think about it is like, branch out of the status quo, and that is so many areas. It's not just your music, but how you market music, how you come across as yourself, like
your branding, everything.
6ix9ine with like, he looks like a freaking squid with colorful hair. Like,
it's very true.
That's not a status quo of what.
Squid-like.
Yeah. So break out of it. Cool. So that's the psychology behind it, and then we kind of touched on with the politics and like, now that you know these biases, you can respond instead of reacting to shit that doesn't go your way.
Yeah, I think that's a super important point.
Yeah.
Because there's always this sort of lingering thing in the back of your head that's like, oh no, like, but like, why not me? You know what I mean? There's this little thing where you just get that little bit egotistical, and sometimes it's at the detriment of your own brand, your own business, and things like that. It only takes for you to react poorly to lose a connection. It only takes for you to react poorly to lose a job. Like there's certain things where sometimes, yeah, sure, you do have to react rather than respond. But for most of the time, literally 90% of the time, take that extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe a day, think about it. Really think about it. Like, make sure you have everything that and every aspect covered before you make an initial statement. Because there's, like...
and have someone next to you who's a devil's avocado.
Yeah.
Like,
Love avocados.
Love them.